Hey, I'm Matthew from Sharonatsea Travel, and we are here today in Istanbul, Turkey. Very exciting to be here. A lot of history here and a lot of cool stuff we're going to be looking at today. We're going to be using the public transportation to get around the city here. And our first stop is we're going to go out to the outskirts of where the historic city lied, and we're going to look at the Theodosian walls, which are the walls that protected the city for centuries when it was the Roman Empire, Byzantine Empire, during that era of time. Then we're going to come back in to a lot where the hustle and bustle is. We're going to go to the Sultanahmet Square and just do some shopping and maybe have a local bite to eat. And then we'll end our day returning to the port. The Galataport is what it's called. So exciting day we have coming up here, and we'll take you along with us.
All right, we're about to get off here in Istanbul, one of the most interesting and unique cruise terminals that we've ever seen before. Here's the deal. Overnight, guests back on board by 5 a.m. Make a note of it. All right, here we are, Istanbul, Turkey.
With you when you come back.
Very, very unique situation, okay? We got off here, and to the left, you're gonna see a wall right here. This wall actually goes up and down hydraulically, and it covers up the ground here, and when it does, it just creates a large boardwalk area that people can walk up to the water on. But when the cruise ship's here, this turns into a wall that separates the cruise ships from the city. So it's pretty awesome stuff. And we're gonna walk down here. It's an underground terminal. We're gonna walk all the way through the terminal, back up the other side, and see how it is. All right, so here's where we head down to the underground cruise terminal here. We're gonna walk down here, it's gonna turn around, and we're gonna walk back down that way too. All right, so now we've come down the other way, the other part of the ramp here. We may have to go through some sort of passport control or transit passenger area. So we'll see, but now we're entering the underground terminal right here. Very cool, very tech oriented. And this is where we're gonna scan our little pass that we got. The cruise ship provided it to us. It's just a little barcode deal. All right, they put it in our room, and we're just gonna give it a little scan, boom, and we're gonna walk through here, and we are good to go. And then we're just gonna follow the people and the signs to the exit. Now, we don't have to go through passport control today because it's not our debarkation officially. So I think we're just gonna be walking through here. And yes, Sharon is here. Hi, Sharon. And she's collecting all of our little cards here.
Keep these very safe. We need these to get back on.
That's right. Okay, we're gonna do a quick toilet stop right here. So that's nice to know there's some toilets. Sharon, are you excited for Istanbul?
I am. It looks beautiful.
It really does. You pull up and you never know what to expect from some of these cities. And you get here and you're like, oh my God, it looks gorgeous out there. So I mentioned they have the toilets right here before you head down, and now we're going a little bit deeper down the escalator into the terminal here. So we'll see where this takes us. Following the sign should be the simple thing, and right now we are just going out to the street because we are going to go find public transportation. So explore Galataport, the city center. We're gonna go even further down. If you were doing tour buses and things like that, this is where you're probably gonna go. There are lots of buses and a parking area down there. But we're going down even further because we are walking out of the terminal. All right, we are following the city center signs. So we just came down, I believe, so that we can go back up again. I think that's how it works here. Kind of nice, they have storage lockers. So if you want to go out and leave your luggage here for a couple hours, that's something you can do. If you're getting off the ship and you have a little bit of free time, that's awesome. Well, nothing wrong with more toilets. So now we're going back up again. All right, and here we go. We're going back up. It's just been a couple minutes we've been in here. But we go way underground. There aren't people getting off the ship right now, it looks like, or getting off one of the ships, I should say, that are in port. I'm not quite sure which ship. But we're going back up here, again, towards the city center. I'm just gonna keep the camera on, speed it up a little bit here, just so you guys can see exactly where we are going. And then we'll show you where we come out, where on the street we come out. So you can make your plans accordingly. Oh boy, we're going back up again. Okay. Okay, here we go. Some people are just getting off today, maybe from another ship, maybe from our ship, I'm not quite sure. All right, now we're gonna be coming out of the Galataport. We're gonna be exiting right up ahead here. All right, and so now we are at the exit. The city center, the tram station is gonna be to the left. Out to the right is gonna be, looks like the street. So we're gonna go left, try to find the tram station. Matthew's pulling it up right now. We're looking for the Topani tram station. So we are right here, right in the middle of everything, right in the Galataport area, the hustle and bustle. So again, on one side of that wall that we saw earlier was the cruise ship, and the other side is all this action, and this just happens every day here in Istanbul. All right, we're gonna check back with you here in a minute, and we'll try to identify some streets, street corners, and things like that for you to know where to go when you get off the cruise ship. All right, we got some signs up here. Now where we're coming out is right here by the Clock Tower Square. I believe that's what they call this. And right up here, we ought to see the clock tower. And that's how you know where you are. There it is. That's it, the clock tower, guys. I don't know what's going on here. Some kind of athletic event. This is like a parkour thing, I don't know, but there's a bunch of buff guys for all the ladies watching the video. Here you go. Right here at the Clock Tower Square. All right, that's it. Welcome Parkour World Cup 2026, the heart of Istanbul. These are the best of the parkour guys. Let me know if you're a fan of the parkour, if you're active in that kind of a parkour community. Pretty interesting. So we came past the clock tower, which is past this mosque right here, right in front of the Galataport. And we're gonna be exiting right up here, out onto the street, and then going to the T1 tram station. I believe it's gonna be called Tophani, T-O-P-H-A-N-E. I'm probably butchering that name, but that's where we're going. That's what we're doing. All right, so we're exiting this part of the port here. Now they do have a little security set up, I guess, so this is really a Galataport entrance. All right, so we are following Matthew. He's got the hookup, and we're using Google Maps to get to the tram station. So we'll check back with you in a minute, let you know how I made out. Beautiful area around here. Got some food carts and things like that. Lots of taxis too. If you want to get around with a taxi, you can do that. And we're gonna head across the street here. And you can see the tram just stopped right here, and now it's starting again. And we're crossing the street and getting onto the tram that we want, the T1 tram, heading towards Begşehir, I believe, not towards Kabatas. All right, so we just got through the line here for the tram, but all we're doing, guys, is we're coming through here scanning a credit card that hopefully is just a credit card with no foreign transaction fees, and we're coming right through. The line over there is if you want to buy a ticket for the tram for the day or for whatever you got to do that's unique, but we're just tapping a card because we're just going one way for about a $1.50, give or take a few cents. So now we're going to move up here and wait for the T1 tram to come by. That's our plan. We made it onto the T1 tram here. Listen, I've got a handy little colored map to tell me where we're going. So the next stop we're going to be going to is a stop that's right out near the Theodosian walls. The name of that stop is going to be Top Copy. So when we get off there, we should have a short walk to see the Theodosian walls. Then we'll be heading back into town to see a bunch of other cool stuff. Hey, do me a favor, if you're liking the video and you like how we're showing you everything and how to get around here, give it a thumbs up, maybe subscribe to the channel, come back and see us. We've got a ton more cruising videos out there. We would appreciate it. All right, so we're just taking a really nice tram ride all the way through the area here of Istanbul, all the way from the port, through the Sultan Hamid area, through all the popular spots like the Blue Mosque and all that. Those will be around here. And we're just heading out, like Matthew said earlier, to the Theodosian walls. This would be the spot that we would get off later on for Sultan Hamid to get to the Hagia Sophia and the Blue Mosque. All that stuff's right out here. Beautiful out here. I'm not sure if seeing it through the window is doing it justice. Coming up is the Sultan Hamid tram stop here. That's where you get off for all of these things that you want to see, all the popular stuff, all the hits, as we say. I'm pretty sure that's the Blue Mosque right there. Beautiful. Oh, that's the Sultan Hamid. Now, not for nothing, it is, I mean, it's midday. It's 1 in the afternoon, basically. And these trams are not super busy. Now, maybe they get busy later on for like a rush hour or something, but so far it's actually been quite comfortable. All right, we got off on the Topkapi stop There's a good look at some of the Theodosian walls right over there, guys. Matthew's going to tell us a little bit more about what's the attraction, why come and see these walls. What's so special about them?
All right, so the walls of Constantinople, or the Theodosian walls, are the walls that for centuries defended the city of Constantinople from foreign invaders, from all sorts of foreign armies that came in to try and take the city through various points of history, ever since when it was the capital of the Roman Empire under Constantine, which is where it got the name Constantinople, up until the eventual fall of Constantinople in 1453 to the Ottoman Empire, the Turks, who, via, the country Turkey, control the walls to this day in the area. The walls are in ruin, obviously. They haven't been needed for a very long time, and were, built through antiquity and medieval times, built up and used and defended the city. So it's super cool to really see these in person. It's always been something I've been fascinated by, because the amount of sieges and wars that this city's been through, and it's been able to withstand for centuries, I think is very surreal. It sucks to see them in ruins now, because imagine them at their peak in their prime. But I think it's very interesting to see such a big point in history.
Pretty neat deal, and this was something that not a lot of people were in tune with. But when we came out here, Matthew said, "I want to see these Theodosian walls." So we're going to walk down.
Yeah, and this isn't by any means any big tourist attraction that's necessarily a must-see. But if you're someone who's a big history nerd like me, it's kind of an interesting thing to see. And of course, in 1453, the walls finally fell to the invading Ottoman Empire. At that point, the Byzantine Empire, they called themselves the Roman Empire. They were the continuation of the Roman Empire in the East. Finally met its end here in 1453, just with the evolution of military technology and artillery. The walls were finally able to be brought down. And it's said that the final emperor, I think Constantine I forget the number. Maybe let me find that. Yeah, Constantine the 11th led the final stand inside the city walls after the walls fell and the invading army came through, and that was the end of the.
So when did the change to Istanbul take place?
So the Ottomans kept it as Constantinople throughout the entire time, and it served as the capital for the Ottoman Empire. But when the Ottoman Empire collapsed after World War I and became the secular Republic of Turkey under Ataturk, who was the founding father of the modern Turkish country that we're in today, it was renamed to Istanbul during that time period and was not the capital anymore. The capital of Turkey is actually Ankara now. I believe I'm saying that right, Ankara, and more in the center of the country. But this is still the largest city here in the country, and it has a very mostly Turkish population at this point. And so it's only been Istanbul for just over 100 years officially.
Matthew, that's amazing information. So for all of the, as Matthew put, some history nerds out there, hope you enjoyed a little bit of this. We're going to walk see a little bit more of this and see what else we can find related to the walls while we're out here. Then we're going to head back into town and see some more stuff. So Istanbul so far has been pretty impressive. So just cool stuff. We've been walking along a little bit, seeing more of the walls, learning a little bit more. Now we're going to go through a section that's open, so we can actually go through the wall to the inside. All right, so here's a look as we go from the outside to the inside of the walls here. Pretty awesome stuff. So now we're just following Google Maps to get us to another tram station, and I think I see one right up ahead. Just got off our tram here, the T1 tram at Sultanahmet, and this is really where you're going to go to find all the popular things. Here we go. Look at this beautiful. This area right here, Matthew. This is where they had the track races, I think, right? The Hippodrome. Hippodrome. Okay.
They do chariot racing back in the day. It was a big enclosed structure.
Very nice. Very beautiful here.
All right, we're here at the Hagia Sophia. The first thing you'll notice is all the scaffolding and renovations that are being done. The entire thing is blocked off on all sides as they do the renovations that they have ongoing here at the Hagia Sophia. The official name is the Hagia Sophia Grand Mosque, as it is currently a mosque. It was previously a museum for about 80, 90 years or so, since the 1930s, but in 2020, the current government of Turkey remade it into a mosque. The Hagia Sophia was founded originally as a church, a Christian church, built. It was the third church on this site, built during the reign of the Roman Emperor Justinian the Great. And there were two previous churches, both burnt down during riots in the city of Constantinople. The Hagia Sophia stood as a church until 1453, when the Ottoman Empire conquered the city of Constantinople. And immediately one of the first things they did was they remade the Hagia Sophia Basilica into a mosque. It was a mosque until, I believe it was 1935. It was turned into a museum, so a secular site where people of all religion could come and see the history of the Hagia Sophia that existed. When it was rebranded into a mosque in 2020, it was met with criticism from various governments, scholars, and also the United Nations, as this is a UNESCO site here in the Hagia Sophia. So it received lots of criticism for its rebranding as a mosque that could affect its status as a protected site. Personally, I do think that it is unfortunate that it was turned back into a mosque, as it takes away a lot of the historical relevance of the place. And since it's treated as a mosque, you go in and you can't really see the historical site for what it is. You're restricted to certain areas, as it's being actively used, continued for worship inside as a mosque. So for that reason, among others, with all the renovations and what we can't see, we're choosing not to go inside and pay the €25 a person price to go inside. But we are going to head over to the museum, which houses a lot of the historical artifacts that previously, for centuries, had been inside of the Hagia Sophia. And we're going to take a look at those and look at that history of it.
All right, so we're coming up on the Hagia Sophia experience, Hagia Sophia Museum. And surprisingly, it is not packed. We thought it'd be insane around here, but it is not. I'm not sure if this is the ticket office right here or not, but we are shocked that there's not a lot of people waiting to get in here. We came to the little ticket office here, and we are doing €25 a person, so a little over 25 US a person, or like 1 million Turkish lira. I'm not sure what the conversion is.
5,500.
5,500 Turkish lira.
Yes.
For the four of us to get in here. So just over $100 to check out this amazing museum, which I am again shocked there's not a line of people to get in here. All right, so we all have headphones on and we're walking through this audio guide, watching a lot of cool videos about the history of the Hagia Sophia. All right, so the last 20 minutes or so we were walking through and having a really cool audio tour and video history of the Hagia Sophia and really Constantinople, talking about the history of the area. And now we can just walk through the museum and check some things out too. So far, a really cool experience here at this immersive museum experience. All right, well, we finished up here at the museum, the Hagia Sophia History and Experience Museum, and that was pretty cool. Again, the beginning was a lot of video clips. We went to different rooms, lots of stuff with the audio parts. Saw some cool visuals, talking about just the history of the Hagia Sophia, when it was constructed, how it was constructed, how many times it was torn down, all kinds of cool stuff like that. And all the way till present day, when it's now currently a mosque. It's actually 2020 in the pandemic years where it was turned into a mosque. Pretty interesting stuff. And now we're gonna go check out the Blue Mosque here. All right, so now we are in kind of an inside courtyard area here at the Blue Mosque. Not truly in the mosque itself, but an outer area, just to get a feel for what it looks like around here. Matthew's gonna take a look inside and see what's going on. Well, listen, here's a little view right here for you. Take a peek right inside the Blue Mosque right here. Boom. Some people are praying, some people are just walking around taking a look. Kind of interesting, but I think we're going to choose not to take our shoes off and go all the way in there. But that's the Blue Mosque. All right, so we walked down the street across the way from the Blue Mosque area there and found a little cozy place to hang out. Adana and Kebab and Grill, very nice here. Yeah, handsome manager right here, he says. So we're gonna go here, check this place out, and see how we do. All right, so we came here to the Adana restaurant. I like that they do have pictures on the menu. I know sometimes you hear not to eat someplace where they have pictures on the menu, but we're doing it, and it really helps out a lot for a tourist. So they got all kinds of good stuff here. Some nice salads and things like that. Chicken dishes. Prices are all on there. Now I think I'm gonna go with a doner kebab sandwich. They have pasta and all kinds of other things as well. There's pizza here, wraps, burgers, local dishes, all kinds of good stuff. All right, so we've got some things coming to the table. Some FS beer, local beer. Looks delicious. We're already digging into some of this food. This is some kind of a red pepper and feta cheese dip, which is amazing. Included in the meal was some tasty bread and some hummus for dipping as well. We've got a couple of sodas, a couple more, another beer down the way. And Riley got a hot apple tea, but it's cold. And I hope that she loves that. So far so good here at our little restaurant stop here in Istanbul. All right, well, we got some food here. Riley, what did you get? What is that called? Monty? What is it?
It's minced meat dumplings.
Minced meat dumplings. That looks fabulous. All right, I'm hoping you don't finish all that because I would love to help you with that. I got a doner wrap with some fries. Matthew, to no one's surprise, got a margarita pizza that he's splitting with Sharon. And our friends here, Matt and Gina, got a Dinty beef stew, I think, or something. He said a delicious little beef concoction there, and it looks good because Gina cleaned her plate. So good job, everybody. So that's our dinner here in Istanbul, and after this, we're going to be trying to find some shopping to do on the way back to the cruise ship. It's very important. You'll see why in a minute. The Hafiz Mustafa, they have desserts here, and they have fabulous baklava, and that's something that Riley really wanted, so we're going to check that out right now. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Oh wow, look at this. Oh boy. This looks delicious. Hello. Hi. Oh my. Oh, that looks great. Okay, I gotta find Riley. Whew. Oh my. Riley is making a nice purchase. Everything here was fantastic. I got a little sample of traditional baklava there. It was delicious. These treats are unbelievable. This chef is fantastic. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, man. Thank you so much. Oh my God, look at the cakes in here. Holy mackerel. And you can get these and just sit in here and eat. They got a little area where you can sit, eat, have a little coffee. Fabulous stuff. Fabulous. Oh my. All right, so this is what they call, I guess, the Grand Bazaar area. Sharon is beyond happy. She's in heaven right now. Turkish lamps, here we go. All right, well, Sharon found a Turkish lamp that catches her eye. Sharon? Are you happy?
I am very happy.
All right, she's happy. She found a Turkish lamp. Direct from Turkey. We're going to check the label to make sure it doesn't say made in China. So we'll see what happens with that. We are getting back on the tram here after doing a little shopping. All right, well, we're walking along the street here trying to find some luggage, and look at these adorable little seats right here. Oh my gosh, how cute is that? Wow. Right across the river from the port. Tons of places to eat, drink. Lots of good food being eaten here. Hey, what's up, buddy? All right, well, this is the first for us. We actually had to buy a piece of luggage to have room enough to take souvenirs home that were purchased, yeah, mostly by Matthew, but also by Sharon and maybe a few by Riley. Very little. She gets little tiny trinket type things that she can take home. Matthew gets huge castle model type things and stuff, and Sharon, you never know what she's going to come up with. But yes, we did, and we paid 1,600 Turkish lira in cash. We got the deal, saved 200 Turkish lira on that bag. And if you guys are smart, let me know in the comments, 1,600 Turkish lira. What did we actually pay for that suitcase? Put it in the comments now. And we're doing our final shopping. Don't tell the grandkids, but Sharon's trying to find him something at the I Love Istanbul shop here. Back into the port area there, walk through a little security spot. I guess that's just to keep this whole port location safe and secure, and I think it's a good idea. And now we're back here at the Clock Tower Square. A little bit of shopping and stuff here. Looks kind of nice.
This is so cute. It's all lit up at night.
Yeah, they got the umbrellas up there. It's like being at a Caribbean port. Wait, are those umbrellas for sale or just for looks? Don't let Sharon know if they're for sale. She'll take one of those home.
I think it's just the decor.
You think so? Okay,
But
maybe.
they would probably sell you one if you really wanted one. They'll sell you anything.
All right, so here we go. Here's a sign, the Yolko Terminal, the cruise terminal. We're gonna go this way, follow the sign. We're gonna make a left after this building, and that'll get us back into the cruise terminal. Piece of cake, right? And there's also people you can ask. There's a concierge booth back there that I poked my head in and said, hey, just making sure. Fastest way to get on the Viva, boom, she pointed us in the right direction. One last look at a beautiful site here. A lovely mosque right outside the cruise terminal here at Clock Tower Square. All right, well, then we came to the next intersection. Just so you know, there's a Hafiz Mustafa 1864, amazing desserts there. Sneaks Up is right there. Tag Hero Watch Store. And of course, we've got the cruise terminal to the ship right here. We're gonna follow it in, get back to the ship, whew, and settle in for the night. We made it to the final part here. There's the Viva.
Well, we are back on board the ship, and look at this gorgeous night here in Istanbul. Unfortunately, we have to get packing because we have to get off the ship tomorrow and head home. We have a long journey home, but I really wish we had more time here. This is an amazing city, so much to see here and do. We just barely touched the surface of anything. But look at this gorgeous view. We're gonna enjoy this all night as I'm packing right here inside the cabin. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please remember to subscribe to the channel and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on any new content. And remember to travel safe, travel smart, and we will see you in the next video. Now enjoy the view.